Hey guys, welcome to Fun Learning. Actually, today I plan to teach you the tract of spinal cord, which is a very important 15 mark questions. It's 15 mark question. So, I need a suggestion from you that I have planned to post this video by dividing into 4. Okay, in each to put 5 or 6 in each video. There will be 5 or 6 track. I need a suggestion that you need a complete video of ascending track, a complete video of descending track, or I can split it into 4 or 5 videos. Okay, then as we are nearing to the exams can be kept at any way. So it can be kept at either September or October, we don't know. So I can't take all the everything in physiology. So which you need, so which you feel that it is difficult, you can comment me. I'll definitely post this within next week. Okay, so let's get started. So there are two types of tract over spinal cord. One is ascending tract and one is descending tract. So what is ascending tract? So ascending tract, in the sense, it is going to ascend up. That is, it is going to ascend from the spinal cord to the cerebral cortex, to the brain, right? So that's why we call it as ascending tract, because it is ascending up. So you always know that your ascending tract will carry the sensory impulses. Okay, once you are keeping hand on a hot object, okay, immediately the heart, that is a sense, right? The temperature, so that is a kind of sense that is carried out from the receptors. That if you are touching any hard object with the help of the hand, immediately what your sensory receptors which is present in your hand will send the sensory impulses from the hand to the spinal cord. So these are nothing but ascending tract are carrying it. Okay, then as a result, immediately what you'll do, you'll take a hand from that object, right? So that is because of the motor impulses which is generated in your brain, and it is transmitted to your spinal cord, and from spinal cord it is transmitting to the region at which the receptors is located, or at which your or to the affected organ. That can also you can say. Okay, so ascending tract, you should remember it is carrying the sensory impulses. You remember your hand. So if you touch anything, so this is going to, the receptors present over here is stimulated, and from here the ascending impulses are carried out over up. Okay, so descending tract, from here you are taking, right? So the impulse has to come from the upper side. So that is descending tract. Okay, so ascending tract is going to carry the sensory impulses, and descending tract is going to carry the motor impulses. And once more you have to know here is the each sensation has a unique pathway. For example, we have a pain pathway which is very important, 15 marks. So each pathway has consists of 3 neurons. Okay, so one is first order neurons, second is second order neuron. So the name is very easier, first order, second order, third order. Just we are naming it based on the order. Third order neuron. So you should know what is which neuron. So first order neuron is nothing but a posterior root ganglion which is present in your spinal cord. This dot represent the posterior root ganglion. So this is the first posterior nerve root ganglion. This is the first order neuron. From here, where it is going, this is not what part of the spinal cord is this called as? It is called it as posterior greyon. Okay, so from here it is going to the posterior greyon. So your posterior greyon will form second order neuron. Then your third order neuron. Your third order neuron is from the spinal cord, it is going to subcortex. I already mentioned in basal ganglia. What is subcortical area? It's nothing but an area that is below the cortex. We call it a subcortical area. Okay, so the third order neuron will be in the subcortical area, that is below your cortex. So first order neuron is posterior root ganglion, second order neuron is posterior greyon, and third order neuron is in the subcortical area. So today I am going to teach you 2 tract of spinal cord. Tomorrow I will post all the remaining ascending tract of spinal cord. Okay, Okay, I said I'm going to teach you today the two ascending tract of spinal cord. So first is anterior spinothalamic tract. Okay, wow. So here, when I teach you that tract, I'll say your mnemonic to remember those tract. So today we are going to study a mnemonic called LOST. What is LOST? So this A stands for anterior. First you remember these three words. Okay, A stands for anterior and S stands for spino and T stands for thalamic. So anterior spinothalamic tract. So here is anterior spinothalamic tract. And what is lost? So here you should remember this three. This three forms the first tract. Then remember forget about A and talk about this two. This three, retrospinothalamic tract. So in that one mnemonic, you are going to remember two tracts name. Okay. So next we'll go anterior spinothalamic tract. So this it is situated at the anterior white column. So one trick you remember, all the tract is situated only in the white column. None is situated in the gray column. Okay. So So situation it is situated at the anterior white column. Okay, so here you should remember where it is originated. So it is very important. So here you remember this mnemonic. So I am giving many mnemonic just to remember. Okay, so anterior spinothalamic tract, that is A, and remember C. 3C you should remember. So first C stands for chief sensory nucleus. So where it is present? It is present in the posterior gyrant nuclei. It is one of the nuclei that is present, nuclei or neuron that is present in the posterior gyrant. Okay, so it is where it is present. So where it is getting originated, chief sensory nucleus. And then another C stands for crude touch pathway. That it is going to carry the sensation for crude touch pathway. Okay, this T stands for crude touch pathway, and this C I'll say what. Okay, now you remember this is for chief sensory nucleus and this is for crude touch pathway. So chief sensory nucleus, which forms the second order neuron. I already said first order neuron is in the posterior root ganglion. Second order neuron is in the second order neuron is in the posterior gyrant. This nucleus is present in the posterior gyrant. So chief sensory nucleus, which forms the second order neuron of crude touch pathway. The first order neuron is in where? Posterior nerve root ganglia. So cause. So cause is very important. This T stands for this one, crossed fibers. So if after taking origin, so we have here we have one anterior gray column. So when you see the structure of spinal cord, see this is one. I'm saying like this. So this is one anterior gray column and this is one anterior gray column. We have two anterior gray column, right? So after taking origin from one anterior gray column, it runs obliquely to reach the anterior white column. Opposite side of the anterior white column. So after taking origin, this fibers runs obliquely and enter the opposite anterior white column. And then it ascends to various segments of the spinal cord to reach where? Thalamus. As it is known as spinothalamic tract, it gets originated from the spinal cord and it ends in the thalamus. So hence the name spinothalamic tract. Okay, so to reach the thalamus. I guess I'm not fast over here. So anterior spinothalamic tract, where it is situated, anterior white column, where it is originated, chief sensory nucleus. What is the fiber it is? It is crossed fibers. Then after taking origin from the after taking origin from chief sensory nucleus, it runs obliquely and reaches the opposite side of the anterior white column. Then it ascends to various segments of the spinal cord to reach thalamus. Okay, va? So by ascending through the brainstem, so brainstem, as you know what is brainstem, midbrain plus hindbrain call it as brainstem. The number of fibers is reduced because some of the fibers get branched, form a separate branch and reach the reticular formation of brainstem. Okay, you know what about reticular formation, I guess. If you don't know, just remember the name, that's enough. Okay, I already said you where it get terminated. It get terminated in the ventral posterior atrial nucleus of thalamus. I already said it is get terminated in the thalamus. So here I am just introducing another nucleus name, that is nothing but ventral. So just remember, ventral is front side and posterior atrial. So what is posterior? Back side. So ventral, posterior. So these two get together. That nucleus lies in three: anterior side, posterior side, as well as lateral side. Okay, so ventral, posterior, lateral nucleus of thalamus. So what is the function? I already said ACCC. That is scruted sensation. So effect of lesion. If there is any lesion over there, ரெண்டு side में, that is if two side. So I already said from here there is one anterior wide column, here it is one anterior wide column. So if fibers get originated from this side anterior wide column, that crosses the midline and reaches the opposite side of the anterior wide column. So similar, அந்த பக்கமும் என்ன ஆகும், the anterior fibers will arise. Okay, so effect of lesion. If it is cut on both the side, then there will be total loss of scruted sensation. If there is only a cut in only one side, then opposite side, as it is crossing, I already said it consists of crossed fibers. It crossed the opposite side to reach the and opposite side of the anterior wide column. So there will be loss of scruted sensation in the opposite side, that too below the level of lesion, not above the level of lesion. Okay, so this was his anterior spinothalamic tract. So now let us study lateral spinothalamic tract, and with that I'm finishing today's video. Okay, already said we are going to study lateral spinothalamic tract. So situation, as per the name, it is situated at the lateral wide column. Okay, here where did it get originated? Now it get originated at marginal nucleus and substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. These both the neuron are also present where posterior gyryon. Okay, so what is the cause of it? To remember this, you remember MS. So you know MS degree, after MBBS people used to study, right? MS degree, MS or MD something they used to say, but it is a kind of postgraduate. Okay, so MS, you remember that it is marginal nucleus and S is substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. Okay, so cause it also consists of what fibers? Crossed fibers as anterior spinothalamic tract. So after taking origin, it runs obliquely, reaches the opposite side of the lateral wide column, and then ascends along with the fibers of anterior spinothalamic tract to reach thalamus. So like the same, it forms collateral by ascending up to reach the reticular, and that collateral reaches the reticular formation of the brainstem. So termination, the same nucleus, that is ventral posterior nucleus of thalamus. Okay, then what is the function of it? I've written there pain and temperature. That is, remember PT period, you know, for physical education period or something people used to say that. The very nice period in my school, I loved the periods. Okay, so pain and temperature, as it carries a sensation of pain and temperature. Same, if it is cut at the two part, if bilateral lesion, complete loss of pain and temperature on both the side. Below the level of lesion, unilateral lesion causes the loss of sensation in the opposite side below the level of lesion. Okay, thanks for watching and comment me. Okay, however, I should split it because why? Because it's not very difficult to post it in one video, but it is difficult because you will get confused. The most major confusion take place here is the origin and the termination, and the fibers. It is crossed or uncrossed or these all will get confused together. That's what I'm saying to read 5 tract a day. Okay, so thereby first read that 5 tract, understand it, and try to relate with mnemonic, as I said before, at ascending spinothalamic tract. Then you will never have any confusion. Okay, so thanks for watching, and if you like my video, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to give any suggestion to me the way I take, please comment me. I'll do it. I surely do it. Okay, so stay at home and stay safe, then stay happy. That's what very important in life, and bye, take care. Guys, welcome to Fun Learning. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பார்க்க போறது tract, ascending tract. Actually last video la I have never seen it the merging பண்ணி தான் எடுத்த அந்த வீடியோ, ஸோ நான் குவாலிட்டி பார்க்கல, really sorry for that. So நான் வேணா if you guys want it, I'll upload it again. Okay, so now let us start. நாங்கள் 2 ascending tract பார்த்துட்டோம். ஸோ இங்கே வந்து third tractோட continuation தான் பார்க்க போகிறோம். ஸோ third tract அப்படின்னு சொல்றது nothing but ventral spinocerebellar tract. So we also know that ventral is also known as anterior. So we know front side is also known as anterior and ventral. So here we talked about the ventral spinocerebellar tract is also known as anterior spinocerebellar tract, and it is also known as indirect spinocerebellar tract. I'll say why it is called the indirect spinocerebellar tract later. But now let us start. Okay. The situation, so where they are situated. So many of us get confusion by seeing the name, because last video I said you anterior spinothalamic tract, it is obviously given as anterior, so it is present in the anterior right column. I said there. But here it is ulta of it. So ventral spinocerebellar tract, as it is a anterior spinocerebellar tract, but where it is located? It is located at the lateral right column. So remember it, don't be confused. Okay. So from where it get originated? So we know definitely from the nucleus, and this is also getting originated from the marginal nucleus in the posterior greyon. So already last video I said about the first order neuron, the second order neuron. So this marginal nucleus, which is in the posterior greyon, forms the second order neuron. Okay, so in course, which is very important. So here we have two fibers. Okay, so one is cross fibers and another is uncrossed fibers. So here we call it as indirect spinocerebellar tract, because here the majority of the fibers are crossed fibers. Once they get originated, they will. So for example, how you should write அப்படினா, இப்போ course அப்படின்னு கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. So here we can write like it get originated from the marginal nucleus, crosses the opposite side of the lateral white column, and ascends up to the spinal cord to reach the cerebellum. As here also you can apply that trick. Spinocerebellar, it get originated from the spinal cord and get terminated in the cerebellum. Okay, ma. Finally reaches the cerebellum via the superior cerebellar peduncle. So you know about all those things, I guess. Superior cerebellar peduncle and inferior cerebellar peduncle, you must know about it. So okay, so where it get at cerebellum, exactly it get terminated at the anterior lobe of cerebellum. Okay, so here the function of it is subconscious kinesthetic sensation. So what is subconscious? So subconscious, you know, something it's not under your control. Okay, subconscious mind, people used to say. So that kinesthetic. What is kinesthetic? Kinesthetic means movement. Okay, so subconscious kinesthetic and sensation is feeling. So what is effect of lesion? So as I said earlier, majority of fibers are crossed fibers. So if there is any lesion, the subconscious kinesthetic sensation, the opposite side will be affected. Okay, so here we comes to dorsal spinocerebellar tract, here also known as posterior spinocerebellar tract or direct spinocerebellar tract. So where they are situated? Same, lateral white column. This both the tract are situated in the same, that is lateral white column. So from where it get originated abdina, it get originated from the dorsal nucleus of plaque in the posterior greyon of spinal cord. So this nucleus is also present in the posterior greyon of spinal cord. So remember, like the tract name dorsal, and the origin from where it get originated dorsal. So dorsal spinocerebellar tract and dorsal nucleus of plaque in the posterior greyon of spinal cord. And you remember here what they have given is dorsal spinocerebellar tract or posterior spinocerebellar tract or direct spinocerebellar tract. They are given is direct. So direct in a sense, these fibers are not crossed. Indirect in a sense, these fibers are crossed. So just kept it in mind. Okay, so of course uncrossed fibers, then also it is also reaches the cerebellum by via the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Ventral is reaching the cerebellum via the superior cerebellar peduncle, and that is reaching the cerebellum via the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Then take termination same, anterior lobe of cerebellum. Function same. Effect of lesion, here there is only little difference. As I said you about uncrossed, these are uncrossed fibers. Apo loss of kinesthetic sensation take place in the same site. Okay. Yes. So it's spinotactile tract. The next tract we are going to study here is spinotactile tract. Okay. So here I need a suggestion from you guys that if that origin termination is confusing for you, if that confusing for you, you can comment me. I'll try to make a mnemonic for origin and where it get terminated. Okay, so I try to make a mnemonic for every every tract, so that you will never you will not confuse the origin and termination and function, and make a mnemonic and present to you. But you should comment me about it, okay? Because if you not comment me, I consider it as an easy. So that's what I'm saying again. Okay, we'll go with tract. So the spinotactile tract. So it is also considered as a component of anterior spinothalamic tract, which was we studied the first. So where it get originated, so situated, where it is situated, the same radial white column. We know where is it, okay? Radial white column la origin agudhu. So it's situated irukku. So origin, so as I said, it is a component of anterior spinothalamic tract. Then it should get originated where? Chief sensory nucleus. Okay, so the cause of it is a crossed fibers. That means after getting originated from the chief sensory nucleus, it passes opposite, it crosses the midline or then enter into the opposite side of the radial white column. Okay, so where it get terminated at the superior colliculus. So these are, if you know about the brain entirely, these are very easy for you. The superior colliculus, where they are located. So and next is the function of it. So superior colliculus, it is located at the tectum, that is located at the midbrain. Okay, so wait, I'll as soon as possible I will I will upload a video about brain, so that will be easy for you guys. Okay, so termination, this located at the superior colliculus. And what is the function of it? You know what is reflex, right? So this is related with the visual reflex. Okay, next we'll go with fasciculus dorsolateralis. This, for the fasciculus dorsolateralis, is considered as a component of radial spinothalamic tract. As I mentioned before, it is anterior spinothalamic tract, and this is radial spinothalamic tract. Okay, so where they are situated? They are situated at the radial white column, as I said before. So where it get originated, Adina, it get originated at the posterior nerve root ganglia. So you must have know about it. I already said to you at the previous video, that is previously I said about the first order neuron, second order neuron. In that I mentioned which is the first order neuron. Posterior nerve root ganglia is the first order neuron. Okay, course. What is the course? It consists of uncrossed fibers. So as I said, it get originated from the posterior nerve root ganglia. That also I gave you a diagram about it, where posterior nerve root ganglia is located. So after entering the spinal cord, it passes upward or downward to synapse with the substantia gelatinosa of Ronaldo. So what is this substantia gelatinosa of Ronaldo? It gives origin to the radial spinothalamic tract, thereby joined with the radial spinothalamic tract. So it is known as component of radial spinothalamic tract. And what is the function of it? It is regulated, it is concerned with the pain and the thermal sensation. As I write it above parting, I have written PT. So what is P? Here P stands for pain and T stands for thermal sensation. Okay. So if I'm going fast, no, right? So it is very clear before you. I presented you the clear cut information. So I'm just reading it very fast. So I guess there's no doubt in this. If you have doubt, please comment me. I try to make it more clear. Here we have next is spino-reticular tract. So these are situated in the, we have anterior and radial white column. Okay, they are partially situated anteriorly, and at the same time they are situated radially. So it is also known as, so they are situated together at the anterior radial white column. And from where it get originated, Abdina, from the intermediate radial nucleus, and this is situated in the radial column of spinal cord, I guess. Yes. Then post it has, so as I mentioned, it is an anterior radial white column. At the same time, it has crossed and uncrossed fibers. So both the fibers it has. So where it get terminated? So spino, the name is given reticular. So it get terminated in the reticular formation of the brain stem. Okay. So in reticular formation of brain stem, so they are getting terminated in 3 ways. Okay, 3 valila. So first way is nucleus reticularis gigantocellularis. See, it is a kind of nucleus. These are the nucleus name. Okay, so this nucleus, so okay, it is a nucleus. So basically reticular, so reticularis. So giganto in a sense, it will be very big. and it is made up of cellaris, so it is cellular. Cell, nothing but cellaris. So again, next it is getting terminated at the reticular nucleus. So retal and then reticular nucleus. These both are situated in the medulla. Some in same side and some in opposite side. So next, if you go there, it is nucleus reticularis, pointus caudalis. So pointus in the sense it is pons. Okay, you know about it, all those things. In same and opposite side. Okay, was same. So very few it get terminated in the midbrain. Okay, so function, as you know, reticular formation. This reticular formation is concerned only with the awareness. Okay, so it is concerned with the arousal mechanism. Play very important role in arousal mechanism. So this is concerned with the consciousness and awareness. Okay. So next we have spino-olivary tract and spino-vestibular tract. These two tracts, as they have not given much information about it, I'll say you just try to take a note of it. Okay, it is not very big. Okay, so spino-olivary tract. So these are situated the same as spino-reticular tract, that is anterior atrial white column. So spino-olivary tract is situated in the anterior atrial white column. So the origin is not specific. They are not mentioning that they get origin from this nucleus, they get originated from that nucleus. So it is not specific. But where they get terminated, by name itself we can able to say they get terminated in the olivary nucleus, which is present in the medulla oblongata. Okay, by name itself we can able to guess it. It is situated, it get originated from the olivary nucleus, which is in the medulla oblongata. Next, what it is concerned with? It is concerned with proprioception. You know what is proprioceptors, all those things. Receptors so proprioceptors is a receptors that give response to the stimuli. When our body part change, when our body part moves, like we are doing flexion, we are giving extension, all these movements, these are nothing but stimuli, right? So these are these are sensed by the proprioceptors. Okay, I'll give you very detail in receptors lesson. So just remember proprioception, you know about it, I guess. So spino-vestibular tract. So spino-vestibular tract, these are situated in the radial white column, not anterior radial white column. These are situated in the radial white column. And here also the origin is not specific. They get origin from the anywhere area. So it is not specific. You just simply write it is not specific. And where it get terminated in the radial vestibular nucleus. By name itself we can guess radial vestibular nucleus. And this is also concerned with what? Abdina, proprioception. Okay, this is also concerned with the proprioception. So you know about the proprioceptors, all those things, I guess. So nothing but proprioceptors is the one which will give awareness about the position of the body. Okay. So proprioception is nothing but that give awareness about our perception about the movement of the body. So proprioceptors will sense that. That's all. So fasciculus, gracilis, and tunatus. The last and final more one tract we have. So fasciculus, gracilis, and tunatus. So these are otherwise known as ascending posterior column tract. So what is why they are calling as ascending posterior white column tract in a sense? These are located at the posterior white column and these are ascending tract, hence it is otherwise known as ascending posterior column tract. So where they are situated, I already mentioned they are situated in the posterior white column. So what is where they are getting originated in a sense? So this is from the posterior nerve root ganglia. I already mentioned what is posterior nerve root ganglia previously. So cause is after entering the spinal cord. So after entering the spinal cord, the fibers ascends up in the spinal cord. It does not have any synapse over there. Okay. So here and the fibers ulla enter agudillaya, that fiber have two division. Okay, medial division and radial division. Radial division is ascending up, but medial division is ascending down. Descending down in the form of fasciculus interfascicularis, which is nothing but the next tract, that is final tract of ascending tract, that is comma tract of shells. Okay, So we have two things like gracilis. So gracilis consists of fibers which are supplying the lower extremities of the bodies or lower part of the bodies. So cunatus consists of fibers which are supplying the upper part of the body. So where they are getting terminated is that they are getting terminated at the fasciculus gracilis. Fasciculus gracilis get terminated at the nucleus gracilis, which is present in the medulla oblongata. Next is fasciculus cunatus. It get terminated at the nucleus cunatus, which is also present in the medulla oblongata. So from here, this forms the second order neuron. I already mentioned posterior nerve root ganglia forms the first order neuron, and this forms the second order neuron. Okay, so axons are second order neuron. I show you the diagram. Okay, just you have a note of it. So forming internal arcuate fiber, it ascends to the pons and the midbrain as medial reminiscus and terminate in the ventral posterior lateral nucleus of thalamus. From here, third order neuron relate to sensory area of cerebral cortex. So thalamus forms the third order neuron. From here, it is going to the sensory cortex. See, as I said over here, so from here it is coming, okay, it is ascending up and it synapses with the nucleus gracilis and nucleus cunatus. Then it ascends up to the pons, here 3. Both the fibers join together to form what? Internal arcuate fibers. Then it ascending up, this is nothing but medial reminiscus and it gets synapse in the thalamus, that is ventroposterior nucleus of thalamus. Then from here it is ascending up to the sensory cortex. So this was the diagram. Okay, I guess you guys can see it. So now we are going to talk about the function. So function is nothing but the function of this is tactile sensation, tactile localization, tactile discrimination. So you know what is sensation, localization, discrimination, all those things. So sensation of vibration. So sterignosis is nothing but closing your eye, and if you are touching an object, for example, if I close the eye and touch this object which is a marker, I can able to I can be able to say without seeing it, it is a marker by touching it, right? So this is kind of sterignosis. So this is closing your eye and touching an object and finding out whether it is a marker or it is something else. So that is sterignosis. So conscious kinesthetic sensation, I said you previously. So kinesthetic in the sense movement, okay. Sensation in the sense that is feeling, okay. So conscious in the sense you are aware of it. Okay, so these are the function. If there is any effect of lesion, so any lesion, all this will be lost. Just you word, right? Effect of lesion, loss of tactile sensation, lack of tactile localization, lack of tactile discrimination, lack of sterignosis, and lack of conscious kinesthetic sensation. Okay, so next, the last tract, which is very smallest tract, also I have mentioned it previously. So nothing but the Kamar tract of Schatz. So this Kamar tract of Schatz is also known as interfascicular fasciculus. I have mentioned there. So from where it is coming, the medial division of the posterior, nerve root descends to the posterior white column in the form of interfasciculus fascicularis. Okay. So next, these are also considered as the descending branch of fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cunatus. I already said they are descending nerves. So these are also considered as the descending branch of fasciculus cunatus and fasciculus gracilis. What does it do? Abdina, it play a very important role in intersegmental communication. That means it communicates the two segments of the spinal cord. So one is thoracic T1 and T2. It helps in the communication of these two. Okay, intersegmental communication, and is also responsible for the formation of short reflex arc. You know what is reflex arc, I guess, and that's all. From this, we are going to be successfully completed the ascending tract of spinal cord. And one more thing is, you want any mnemonic for remembering the origin, insertion, termination, as in the case of anal, will come like that now, so it's coming that. So origin, termination, then function, then crossed or uncrossed fibers. If you want to remember this, you need a mnemonic. If you need a mnemonic for this, you can comment to me. I'll try to make it on within 2 days, or tomorrow I'll post it. So thanks for watching, and if you need any other thing in physiology, you can comment me, and stay home, stay safe, bye, take care.